Welcome to the world of masterful dialogue, where every word can shape a character's destiny and turn the tide of your story. Did you know that the average person spends about 60% of their conversation time talking about themselves? In storytelling, however, dialogue must do much more than simply share personal anecdotes. It must captivate, persuade, and transport the audience into the heart of the narrative. In this guide, we'll unlock the secrets of crafting dialogue that doesn't just talk the talk but truly walks the walk. From bustling city scenes that set the stage for whispered secrets to the subtle art of using pace and pauses to heighten drama, we'll explore techniques that transform simple conversations into compelling storytelling tools. Prepare to delve into the mechanics of creating voices so real you can almost hear them echoing off the page, and mastering subtext that keeps readers on the edge of their seats. We'll even polish your skills on refining dialogue until it cuts sharp and clear as a diamond. So, if you're ready to give your characters a voice that resonates and your scenes a dialogue that sizzles, turn the page. Let's start our journey to becoming great storytellers, one line at a time. Chapter 1: Setting the Stage. Crafting scenes that speak. When we talk about storytelling, the setting isn't just a backdrop, it's a canvas that makes your dialogue come alive. Think about it. Would a whispered confession in a bustling city alley feel the same if spoken in a quiet, sunlit kitchen? Settings influence dialogue, infusing it with context and emotional weight. A good scene doesn't just tell your audience where the action takes place, it sets the tone and mood for every word spoken. Consider The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, where lavish parties and intimate conversations define the roaring 20s excess and despair. Fitzgerald masterfully uses setting to enhance the dialogue, making every cheer and whisper a reflection of the era. Just like Gatsby's parties, your scenes should be more than just locations, they should speak to the heart of your story. Let's break it down. To craft a scene that enhances your dialogue, start by visualizing where your characters are. Is it noisy? Is the air tense? Every detail of your setting should contribute to the emotions and dynamics between your characters. If your character is declaring love, a crowded bus might not be the right place for it, unless, of course, you want to highlight the chaos around their contrasted feelings. Using sensory details can also elevate your dialogue. If a character is lying, the oppressive heat of a room can mirror their discomfort, making the scene feel more intense. Remember, good storytelling is about showing, not telling. Let your settings do some of the talking. In storytelling, environments are not passive, they interact with your characters and influence the dialogues. When writing, think about how the setting impacts the story's pace and tension. For example, rapid changes in the setting can mirror the character's emotional upheavals, making the dialogue feel more dynamic and engaging. Chapter 2: The Puppet Master. Manipulating pace with dialogue. Dialogue is the heartbeat of your story. Just like in real life, the pace of conversation can convey everything from urgency to relaxation. Think about the difference in speech when someone is excited versus when they're scared. Pace can set the entire mood. To master this, vary the length and structure of your dialogue based on the scene's emotional needs. In a tense moment, short, choppy sentences can make readers' pulses quicken. On the other hand, long, drawn-out dialogues can be used to create a slow, simmering tension or a deep, reflective mood. Ernest Hemingway was a master at this. His dialogue often mirrors the undercurrents of urgency or apathy his characters feel. In The Sun Also Rises, the terse conversations reflect both the unspoken tensions and the character's existential ennui. Mimicking this technique, you can use rapid dialogue to push the narrative forward or slow it down to let the reader linger in the moment. Another trick is to use interruptions effectively. Life isn't scripted and smooth, people talk over each other, thoughts get cut off, and sometimes, silence says more than words could. By incorporating interruptions in your dialogue, you can make your scenes feel more authentic and lively. Moreover, don't underestimate the power of a well-placed pause. A pause in dialogue can be as powerful as a shout. It can signify doubt, fear, realization, or a change of heart. Use pauses to give your reader time to catch up or to emphasize the importance of what was, or wasn't, said. Chapter 3: Voices in the Void. Giving life to your characters. Every character has a unique voice, and finding that voice is key to making your dialogue pop off the page. Think about your favorite book character. What makes them so memorable? Often, it's not just what they say but how they say it. The dialogue reflects their personality, history, and current mood. Creating distinctive voices for your characters ensures that even without tags, your readers can tell who's speaking. Take for example Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. Scout's narrative voice is so distinct, innocent yet sharp, that it colors every conversation she has. To craft voices that are just as vivid, consider each character's background. Where did they grow up? What's their education level? What are their secret desires or fears? Answers to these questions will shape how they speak. Dialogue should also reflect character development. As characters evolve, so should their dialogue. If a character starts timid and grows bold, let their words grow with them, from hesitant whispers to confident declarations. This progression makes the story more engaging and believable. Don't fall into the trap of making all your characters sound the same. Varying word choice and sentence structure can help differentiate them. A professor might use complex vocabulary, while a young child might speak in simple, direct sentences. Play with accents and slang to add another layer of authenticity. When writing dialogue, remember that less is often more. You don't need to spell out everything. Sometimes, what characters leave unsaid reveals more than their words could. This technique adds depth and intrigue to interactions, making readers eager to read between the lines. Chapter 4, Between the Lines. Mastering subtext in speech. Subtext, the unspoken thoughts and motives behind words, is a powerful tool in dialogue. It turns simple conversations into rich, layered exchanges that pull readers deeper into the story. When characters say one thing but mean another, it creates tension and drama, making scenes more compelling. Consider Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, where much of the romantic tension is built on subtext. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy say very little about their feelings directly for much of the novel, yet their every exchange crackles with emotional intensity. To write effective subtext, start by knowing your character's true desires and fears. What are they not saying? Why? Effective subtext often relies on contradiction. A character might insist they're fine, but the clipped tone and avoidance of eye contact can tell the audience they're anything but. Teach your audience to listen for what's not being said. This can turn an ordinary dialogue into a puzzle that readers are eager to solve. Another strategy is to use irony, where the literal meaning contrasts with the intended message. This can add humor or sadness, depending on the context. For example, a character smiling through tears might say, "Well, isn't this just the perfect day?" The irony stings, conveying depth of emotion and complexity. Timing is also crucial in delivering subtext. Dropping a hint at just the right moment can change the direction of a conversation dramatically, keeping readers on their toes. Practice weaving these elements together to make your dialogue not just a vehicle for information but a dynamic element of your storytelling. By focusing on what lies between the lines, you can transform your dialogue from straightforward exchanges to captivating, multi-dimensional conversations that engage readers on every level. Chapter 5, Echoes of Emotion. Using dialogue to convey feeling. Dialogue isn't just about words, it's about the emotions behind them. When characters speak, they reveal their feelings, sometimes even more than they intend. To write dialogue that truly resonates with emotion, start by understanding the emotional state of your characters in each scene. What are they feeling? How would they express these emotions based on their personality and circumstances? A good practice is to match the intensity of the dialogue with the intensity of the emotion. If a character is furious, their words might be sharp and cutting. In contrast, love might be expressed with soft, hesitant phrases. This alignment makes the dialogue feel genuine and helps the audience connect with the characters. Consider the classic novel, Wuthering Heights, by Emily Bronte, where the passionate and tumultuous relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff is vividly conveyed through their intense and often stormy dialogues. Their conversations are charged with emotion, making their love and pain palpable. It's also effective to contrast what characters say with how they say it. A character might be trying to appear calm and say everything is fine, but a shaky voice or a stutter could betray their true anxiety or fear. These subtle cues invite readers to read deeper into the dialogue. Moreover, remember that silence can be as powerful as speech. A pause in a conversation can speak volumes about a character's internal struggle or shock. Use these moments to let the emotional weight of the dialogue sink in for both the characters and your audience. Lastly, use dialogue to show changes in relationships. How characters speak to each other can reflect shifts in their feelings and dynamics. A conversation that starts with tension might soften as the characters come to understand each other, or it might harden into resentment. These transitions are pivotal in developing both the characters and the plot. Chapter 6: The Cutting Room Floor. Refining dialogue through revision writing. Great dialogue is only the first step. Refining that dialogue through careful revision is what can elevate it from good to unforgettable. Start by reading your dialogue out loud. This can reveal awkward phrasings, unnatural speech patterns, and missed opportunities to enhance the emotional impact. Hearing the words, as your characters would say them, helps ensure they sound real and right for their personalities. Next, consider the purpose of each piece of dialogue. Every exchange should push the story forward or reveal something important about the characters. If a line doesn't serve a purpose, it might be better to cut it. Tight, purposeful dialogue keeps the pace moving and maintains the audience's interest. Also, check for over-exposition in dialogue. Characters shouldn't say things just to give the audience information. For instance, avoid unnatural explanations like, "As you know, we've been brothers for 20 years, which sounds contrived. Instead, weave background details into the dialogue more subtly. Feedback is another crucial tool. Have others read your dialogue and watch their reactions. Do they seem engaged? Confused? Bored? Use their feedback to refine the pacing, tone, and clarity of your dialogue. Finally, be open to multiple revisions. Even the most experienced writers rarely get dialogue perfect on the first try. Each revision can bring new insights and improvements, making your dialogue sharper, more nuanced, and more effective at conveying your story.